Okay, very good. Welcome to our presentation this evening. I'm excited to be speaking to all of you in Norway. My name is Paul Engemann. I'm speaking to you from Provo, Utah. It's about 1 in the afternoon here. I think it's about 8 o'clock there or so. But hope that you had a wonderful holiday weekend, whether that was Easter or Passover or just enjoying yourself. Hope you had a great weekend. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen with you here, so give me 1 second. All right, we're here to talk about RAIN International. Before we get going, I would like to tell you just a little bit about myself. My name, as I said, is Paul Engemann, and I've been full-time in the industry of network marketing for 15 years. But before I was involved in network marketing and before I was a RAIN distributor, I was in rock and roll. I was the lead singer of a rock group called Animotion back in the 1980s, and we had some big hit records in the world. I co-wrote the music for the 1984 Olympics, the 1990 World Soccer Cup. I sang the main song in the movie Scarface, and I was just in the entertainment industry from the time that I was a little child. But after I left show business in the 1990s, my wife and I started an interior design firm. And we did that for well over a decade, and we wound up being featured on the front cover of Architectural Digest, it's an important design magazine, and we grew a very large design business. The reason I'm telling you a little bit about my background is because participating in those two businesses gave me the opportunity to see the difference between residual income, in other words, where you can do something once and then receive income from that over and over and over, and traditional business. In my design business, I could sell a couch one time. I could sell drapes one time. I could sell a chair or a screen one time. And I had to be physically present to do it. I had to show up and be there to sell that couch. Once it was sold, I had to find somebody else to sell a couch to. It was different in my show business life. In my show business life, if I wrote a hit song, if I sang a hit song, I could do that once, and then I received pay for it over and over and over again, because every time it played on the radio, every time it was on television, every time somebody bought one, I received money. Believe it or not, I'll just give you an example. I sang the title song of the movie Scarface in 1983. I don't even want to think about how many years ago that was. I still receive checks from doing that. All these years later in 2019. I can give you many examples of that from my show business life. So what was interesting to me is that in 2005, I was introduced to a network marketing opportunity that really got my attention. And the reason network marketing got my attention is because it's residual income, just like show business. If you share a product with somebody and you build a business where other people are sharing that product, you can receive income over and over and over again. Well, I became the #2 distributor in that company for many, many years. I earned millions of dollars in that company. But, and I was with them for about almost 12 years, a little over 11, well, almost 12, 11 point something years. But that company started to do some things that for me, in my mind, I considered they were unethical. And I felt like I could no longer be with that company or represent them, because my name is important to me, my reputation is important to me. Well, I live in Provo, Utah. I grew up in Los Angeles, but I currently live in Provo, Utah. And what people don't really perhaps know about Provo is that it is kind of the center of network marketing in the world. If you drive from Provo, Utah to Salt Lake City, which is a 50-mile drive, on your way, you're going to pass over 300 network marketing companies. There's a lot of network marketing here. So as I've been involved in this industry for so many years, and as there's so much of it here, I really feel like I kind of have a real-world PhD in network marketing. I have my own doctorate in network marketing. As I left my previous company, I was looking for just the right company to join because I felt like, I don't want to jump from company to company to company. I'm going to find the right company and be with them forever. So I have a friend named Susie Kwok. Susie is a legend in network marketing. She's been in the industry for 35 years. She's earned probably $30 million in the industry. She called me and told me about Rain. And she'd been with Rain for several years. Susie's probably earned about $8 million as a Rain distributor. And she told me that she wanted to arrange a meeting for me with the owners and with the CEO of Rain. So my wife and I went and met with Byron Belka, with the other owners, with the corporate staff, and all of our questions were answered. And I realized these are amazing products. This is an amazing company. They're doing everything right. And so I knew that I had to become a Rain distributor. I did. I'm now what's called a Diamond Elite level distributor in Rain International, and we're just getting going. But I'm very excited because my largest team in Rain is in Norway. There are thousands of you there now, and we really, Gerd Ordal, Tove Samhoft, Leif Dolan, Ani Barrett, and Chris Rainer Battle, we brought Rain to Norway. We were the first ones. So we're super excited, to share this with you and to help you understand a little bit more about Rain International, what these products are, what they can do for you, and what the opportunity can do for you. We live in a world that it's sort of an ironic thing. In our modern world, we have the ability to produce more food than ever. There's really no reason why people should go hungry because of the technology that we have to produce food. But, I want you to think back 25 years ago, if you're old enough to think back 25 years ago. And I want you to ask yourself this question. 25 years ago, did I know anybody that had fibromyalgia or lupus? Were as many people obese as they are now? I mean, the rate of obesity. Did you know anybody that was diabetic? I mean, these are things that are just an epidemic right now. Did you know anybody that had a gluten allergy 25 years ago? Now, I know so many people that do. Why is that? Well, in 1994, Monsanto introduced the first genetically modified seed. And now, about 80 to 90% of what we eat in the world is produced with genetically modified seeds. These are seeds where the DNA of the seed has been altered. You can't tell me that it's a good thing that if they make a seed act like a pesticide by altering its DNA, and then I eat that seed, that's a good thing for me. There's a direct correlation between the introduction of genetically modified seeds and all these problems that we're having now. So it's not just that the seeds are modified, it's that the chemicals that are used to produce the food, the pesticides, the over-processed foods that we eat, the chemicals, the fillers that are in them. We live in a world where we can produce more food than ever, but everybody's walking around malnourished because they don't get the nutrients that they need. So in a sense, nutrition is dying along with our well-being. So what is the solution? How do we solve this? Well, we get back to the source of all nutrition, which is seeds. All nutrition comes from seeds. Do you know that seeds have 20 to 30 times the concentration of nutrients than any other part of a plant or fruit or vegetable? Seeds have all of the vitamins, all of the minerals, the enzymes, the proteins, the essential fatty acids that our bodies need on a daily basis. But the thing is, you can't just eat a bowl full of seeds, can you? The seeds would pass right through you. There has to be a way to remove those nutrients from the seeds in a way that our bodies can use them. And Rain International has that process. They do that with cold pressing the seeds so that you're able to access that nutrition, that powerful, powerful nutrition. And this is revolutionary. You know, the market, if we're just talking about the business of wellness and health, it's exploding. In 2001, it wasn't even $1 trillion market. It is now, 19 years later, a $3.4 trillion a year industry. And there have been some pretty big trends in network marketing as people search for ways to live healthier lives. That kind of growth, where that market has more than tripled in the last 20 years to $3.4 trillion, tells you that people are looking for this. People are looking for health. They want to live healthy lives. They want to have energy. And so these are products that address that. Some of the biggest trends in health and wellness of the last 20 years have been things like herbs. Herbs are actually currently a $49 billion a year industry. So people are looking for herbs, right? Supplements, pills, these kinds of vitamins and capsules. This is a $446 billion a year industry. That's been a big trend. Superfruit juices, $28 billion a year in sales. Essential oils, $17 billion a year in sales. But I want to ask you a question. Before those things were herbs or pills or juices or essential oils, what were they? Where did they come from? Well, they came from seeds. Seeds encompass all of those things. So Rain International has created a new category, the largest category in health and wellness, which is, by the way, the largest category in network marketing. Of all the network marketing companies, that's the largest category in the world. So this is a big deal. They are a category creator company. And category creator companies are the kinds of companies that create billions of dollars in sales and thousands and thousands and thousands of individual millionaires who participate in bringing to the world those category creator companies. You know, category creator companies are things like companies like Apple. If you could go back to 1984, when Bill Gates and the rest of the guys that started Apple were in the garage, just working on inventing the home computer, and you could invest in that company back then, would that be a good thing? It sure would. Well, Rain is at the same point. We did about $70 million in sales last year. In the world of network marketing, that's still very small. So we're in the garage, really. You can invest your time and your energy to bring Rain International to others, and this is going to be the next billion-dollar-plus company in network marketing. It's a very disruptive technology, just like Spotify is a new way to listen to music that's more convenient. It's revolutionary. Just like Airbnb is a revolutionary way to travel. It's disrupted the market. Rain is disrupting the marketplace in health and wellness. So it's a brand new category. It's the largest category ever. Seeds, the source of all nutrition. If you think about it, seeds are powerful. You take a little tiny seed and you put it in the earth and it becomes a giant redwood tree. How does that happen? Because of all the things I've already told you. All the nutrition that's in that seed, all of the power that's in that seed, all of the information and the potential that's in that seed. And now we have access to that nutrition in that powerful way to make up for the nutritional deficit that we all suffer from because we're eating genetically modified food that's got preservatives and pesticides and chemicals in it. These are just some of the health benefits that have been established in thousands and thousands of peer-reviewed double-blind studies that have been carried out at major universities, major medical centers, by some of the most well-known researchers in the world. Things like brain support. Seeds are good for your brain. They're good for your thinking. They increase the ability for the different parts of your brain to communicate with each other. Seeds are anti-aging. Seeds can hydrate your body. They are actually able to go in and repair DNA in your body. Seeds have been shown to do that. They support good joint health, good immunity. I want to talk about two of the major big things that seeds can do for you. They can reduce inflammation and they can reduce oxidation. Let's talk about inflammation first. What do I mean by inflammation? I'm not talking about, oh, my eyes are a little swollen today. I'm talking about chronic cellular inflammation in your body. Why should we be worried about that? Well, because we're all walking around chronically inflamed. We live in a world where we consume all of this genetically modified food and these chemicals. We are exposed to pollution. We live busy, stressful lives. All of these things cause inflammation, chronic cellular inflammation. So that means that the very cells of our bodies are irritated. They're inflamed. And doctors have tied this kind of inflammation to hundreds and hundreds of degenerative diseases. It's the trigger. In heart disease, inflammation is more dangerous than bad cholesterol. Why? Because when your blood vessels are inflamed, that's the thing that causes the cholesterol to build up on the insides of your blood vessels. It causes the blockage. It makes the inside of your blood vessels very sticky. And so that's why the cholesterol starts to build up. So inflammation is a killer. If you can reduce inflammation, you can live a healthier life, a longer life. All right, now let's talk about oxidation. I'm going to breathe some oxygen. Okay, I just burned oxygen in my body. And that's a good thing because I'm delivering oxygen to all the different parts of my body which require oxygen. But a byproduct of burning oxygen is something called an oxygen free radical molecule. That little molecule is dangerous. It's electrically imbalanced. It's missing an electron, a negative charge. So what it tries to do is go to its neighbor and rip off an electron. And if it can do that, it patches itself. It neutralizes itself. But now the neighboring molecule has become two free radicals, which are going to go do the same thing and create 4 free radicals, which are going to go do the same thing and create 8. And you can see how this cascades. It builds, it amplifies. This is called oxidation, and that process is what rusts metal. It's what spoils fruit, and it's what ages us. So what is the solution to that? The solution is antioxidants. Antioxidants are found in fruits, dark fruits, vegetables, plants, and very, very highly and most concentratedly in seeds. Antioxidants are able to neutralize those free radicals. They just stop the process. They actually have extra electrons that they can give away, patch up those free radicals, neutralize them, but the antioxidant does not become a free radical in the process. So it stops the whole thing. All right, so if you can reduce oxidation, then you can increase anti-aging. You can live a healthier life. You can stay healthier longer, all right? Inflammation and oxidation are both addressed by seeds. Seeds are highly anti-inflammatory. Seeds are highly antioxidant. And I want to show you in a very visual way how powerful that is. This is a demonstration that I saw in Budapest, Hungary. The gentleman that you're looking at is named Dr. Norman Ketskis. He is I believe, oh no, you know what, it's Norbert Ketskis. He is the official team doctor for the Hungarian Olympic team. He has that whole team using Rain's products to train with and to compete with. He asked for a volunteer from the audience to take a blood sample, and the only requirement was that the volunteer could not have taken any Rain products. So this young lady had not taken any of Rain's products, and she volunteered to give her blood. And Dr. Ketskis looked at that blood under the microscope and projected her red blood cells onto the screen so we could see it. Now you can see that her red blood cells aren't round like they should be. They're overlapping each other. They're moving together, they're clumped together. And Dr. Ketskis told us that that indicated that they were inflamed, that the cells were inflamed. Also, that they were oxidized, that free radicals were attacking them. And that's why they were overlapping each other and they weren't moving independently. And they were unable to absorb the oxygen that they needed. Of course, they were able to absorb some, but not in an effective way. So he gave this young woman one little packet of Sol, a little 2-ounce packet of Sol, and she took that packet and sat down for a half an hour while Dr. Ketskis continued his talk. A half an hour later, he brought her back up and took another blood sample, and these were her red blood cells. Now, isn't that unbelievable? You can see that the red blood cells are now perfectly round. They're oxidized. They're not oxidized, they're full of oxygen, and they're moving independently. So Sol went in and dealt with the inflammation. It dealt with the oxidation. And now her blood was functioning in a way that could absorb that oxygen and properly give oxygen to the different parts of the body. That's just one of the effects of these products. Let's go through the products individually very quickly. Sol, that product on the left, was developed by researchers at the University of Maryland who were looking for a way to help pediatric cancer patients, so little children who had cancer, and they had gone through chemotherapy, they had gone through radiation, and their little bodies were very weak, and they didn't have much of an appetite. These doctors looked at a way to help these children, so they developed Sol with a combination of black cumin seed, black raspberry seed, and grape chardonnay seed, along with something called D-ribose, which is a natural sweetener, a 5-carbon sugar that occurs naturally in our bodies that allows us to take food and make it energy. Well, with this formulation, these children started to thrive. Now, black cumin seed, if you just go Google black cumin seed health benefits, do a search, it'll blow your mind, all of the benefits. One of the major benefits is that black cumin seed is 281 times more anti-inflammatory than aspirin, if you can believe that. So very, very anti-inflammatory. Sol was tested by Brunswick Labs. This is a very important laboratory in the United States. The government here in the US uses to test products. This was an independent test. They found that Sol reduced cellular inflammation by 33% immediately with one packet. They found that it increased the body's ability to fight aging by 67% with one packet. They found that Sol was 2 to 3 times more potent as an antioxidant than any other product they had ever tested. Brunswick Labs has been around for 50 years or more. They've tested a lot of products. Sol was the most potent antioxidant they ever tested. They found that one packet of Sol was like consuming 7 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables and 2 to 3 servings of healthy fatty acids. So that is Sol. Now, we have another Sol product that's just been introduced. It's called Sol Red. And the numbers are even better. It's also available in Norway. With Sol Red, the body's ability to fight aging was increased by 80%, not 67%. And the anti-inflammatory was up to close to 80% also. So that's a very, very powerful product also. Let's talk about Core. That's the next product. It's a green product. It also has black cumin seed in it, but then it has a lot of greens: aloe vera, spirulina, chlorophyllin, chlorella, kale, milk thistle, dandelion root, wheatgrass. Woo! There's a lot of greens in there. Brunswick Labs tested Core. They found that Core increased the cellular immunity, so the cell's ability to fight disease, by 62%. They found that it made your body more alkaline. They also found that it was a great detoxifier. So anything in your body that acts like a filter, your skin, your lungs, your liver, your kidneys, your gallbladder, these things are detoxified by Core. I think of Core as a daily cleanse for my body. It's like shampoo for your organs. I think of Sol as replenishing the nutrients that I need on a daily basis. So I never go a day without taking Core and Sol. The next product we'll talk about is Form. It's a protein. It's a very clean protein. It's vegan and vegetarian friendly. No animal byproducts are in Form. One scoop of Form is 20 grams of protein. And all of this protein comes from seeds and pea protein. The next product we'll talk about is Pure. It's our probiotic. Probiotic bacteria is very important for your digestion. Your digestive system has good bacteria and bad bacteria. The good bacteria is the probiotic bacteria. But that is under attack because of the foods we eat, because of the antibiotics that we take, because of the antibiotics that are in our food. And so sometimes the good bacteria starts to die off and the bad bacteria increases. And that's when you start having health problems. So you want to make sure that you're taking a probiotic on a daily basis to reestablish that good balance. So Pure is a very convenient way. It's a little powder that you can just put in your water and drink it. And it comes from seeds and other probiotic strains. It also has prebiotic in it. Prebiotic is the food for the probiotic. It doesn't have to be refrigerated. It's very convenient. You can just put it in your bag and carry it with you during the day, pop it in your water, and replenish your probiotics. The last product we'll talk about is Bend. It's also just a little liquid. Shake it, rip it, sip it. It's great for your joints. It also has black cumin seed in it, as well as curcumin and sodium. Oh gosh, I'll tell you right here what it is because I have it written down. Sodium, glucosamine sulfate. That's what it is. Glucosamine sulfate. Glucosamine normally comes from shellfish. This glucosamine comes from seeds. So it's another very clean source. Now, very importantly, none of the seeds that we use are genetically modified. There are no pesticides with any of the seeds that we use, no heavy metals with any of the seeds that we use. And these things, we test for these things to make sure all the products are clean. So those are the products. This is our scientific advisory board. Dr. Diaz, Dr. Fernando Diaz, is not only a brain surgeon, he's a lawyer. And he is a PhD, and he speaks 7 languages. Very smart guy on our scientific advisory board. Dr. Cather has participated in hundreds of clinical trials. She's a cancer researcher, and she's a dermatologist. Dr. Christina Cook is also a cancer researcher. She has taught at Harvard, graduated from their program there. Dr. Cook works with the Food and Drug Administration of the United States, and she has developed some of the most well-known and helpful medications in the pharmaceutical world that you can think of. She's also a cancer survivor. Dr. Ketskis is, as I said, he's the team doctor for the Hungarian Olympic team. This is just some of our scientific advisory board. The products are certified in so many ways. They're certified by the Good Manufacturing Practice Organization, certified by the National Sanitary Foundation. They're certified by the Banned Substance Control Group, which is the body that oversees what athletes can take into their bodies. They work with the World Anti-Doping Association. These products are certified non-genetically modified, so GMO-free. They're certified by Brunswick Labs for all of the effects that we've talked about, the anti-inflammatory, anti-aging, antioxidant effects. They're also certified by Health Canada and the International Seed Nutrition Society. So the products have a lot of backing when you talk about the science and the benefits. We do business in well over 30 markets around the world. Norway is our newest market, so we're very proud of that. This is a worldwide business opportunity, and it has to do with social entrepreneurship. So what do I mean by that? I mean that RAIN's intention is not just to create good health, which is a great thing. Of course, we want to do that. And it's not just to provide people with the ability to improve their financial situation. RAIN's goal is to do those things, but also to leave the world a better place than we found it. And how does RAIN do that? Well, you can't really advance as a RAIN distributor without also, just in the process, doing good things for the world just automatically. It's part of what we do. A portion of the sales price of every product goes to the Seeds for Change Foundation, which is RAIN's nonprofit foundation, which has built orphanages, which has built wells for drinking water in Africa and in Mexico and in other emerging world countries where they didn't have those things. They've built libraries in Africa for school children, provided opportunities for at-risk women to earn money and to build their own businesses. And these are just some of the things that RAIN has done on an ongoing basis. Every time somebody joins RAIN, a tree is planted somewhere in the world. We've planted hundreds and hundreds of thousands of trees throughout the world to leave the world a greener, healthier place. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can earn money as a RAIN distributor. We have 9 different bonuses. Rather than go into each one of those, what I'm going to do is just in a general way explain how simple it is to build a RAIN business. If this is something that you found interesting, if this has resonated with you, if this makes sense to you, and you'd like to start your own RAIN business, the only thing that you really have to concentrate on is building what I call RAIN maker teams. Let me show you what a RAIN maker team is. You're looking at it on your screen. If you can share this with 2 other people who also want to become what we call RAIN partners, RAIN distributors, and then help them to also sponsor 2 RAIN partners themselves. So you're 2 personally sponsored, and they're 2 personally sponsored each. That's 6 people, okay? And then if you can find 2 people that want to be customers, not distributors, they just want to use the product instead of build a business. This group of 8 people is called a RAIN maker team. And if that's all you ever did, and if that's all you ever knew, and all you ever taught, and all that anybody else on your team ever did, you would maximize the compensation plan. You would earn every single bonus that you could ever possibly earn at the highest level. It's really that simple. Just find 2 to share with 2 who share with 2 and a couple of customers. That's it. And you'd earn all the bonuses, okay? Now, you might be looking at that and say, yeah, but how could I do that and earn enough money for it to even matter to me? Well, let me explain. There are 2 very powerful principles at work in RAIN and in network marketing in general. When I'm going to explain to you the compensation plan in a very, very simple way, okay? When you sponsor somebody into the business or you sponsor a customer, you're going to receive a portion of the sales price of whatever package they purchase. That doesn't just happen when you do it. It happens when they do it. You also receive a portion of the purchase prices of those packages. And when their people do it, and when their people do it, you receive compensation because of that. So you can see as your team grows, that becomes more significant. As the team starts to build, every week you receive a percentage of the sales of the entire team. And as the people on your team start to earn money, the company adds even more money to your income based on their incomes. They receive 100% of what they earn, but based on what they earn, the company gives you a matching percentage because you help them to know what to do next. Now, as you're thinking about how can I make this significant, how does this build? Well, there are two principles at work. The first is teamwork. You join a team. You're in the business for yourself, but not by yourself. And as you join your sponsor's team, everybody that's gone before you on that particular leg of your sponsor's team is continuing to build their teams. So as the people above you continue to sponsor on that leg, they have to place people in your organization because they have to go below you. There's no other place for them to go. Those people count in the calculation of your check. So you get help from the people who've gone before you. The second thing that helps you to build a big, big business is called exponential growth. We'll go through this very, very quickly, and then we're going to be done. So as I said, if you just sponsor 2 people, let's say you sponsor 2 in your first month. And then in month 2, you help those 2 to sponsor 2 each. Now you have 6 people on your team. Now, let's say those 4 people in the next month, they go and they sponsor an additional 2. And that just keeps happening every month. 2 sponsor 2 each. After 6 months, you'd have about 126 people on your team. Okay, pretty good. Now, let's look at something else. Let's say that instead of sponsoring 2, you went out, you made a little extra effort, and you sponsored 4. After 6 months with 2 sponsoring 2 each month, you had 126. What do you think it is with 4? Do you think it would be 500? Actually, no. It's 5,460. Isn't that amazing? You had 126 when you started with 2. 5,460 with 4. That's a difference of over 5,300. But here's what I want you to grasp. The real difference, you didn't go out and sponsor 5,000 people. You sponsored 4. And the real difference is just 2. The difference between 2 and 4. So do you think that using these principles, teamwork, exponential growth, with fantastic products like these from Rain International, that you could build a significant business? Absolutely you could. And it's very simple to share. If you can tap the screen of your cell phone, you can send somebody a video that explains all of it in 3 minutes. It's really that simple. You can text it to them. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to know everything I know or that Garrett knows or anybody else knows. All you have to be able to do is tap your phone and send a video to somebody, and then we can help you answer their questions. So now the question is, what does this mean to you? The person who shared this with you really thought highly of you. They loved you enough to tell you about this because this can change your health and it can change your financial picture if you want it to. The question becomes, what do you want to do next? Would you like to just use the products? Fantastic. We can show you how to do that. Would you like to participate in the business with us and help bring this to Norway and to other countries? Because we're just getting started. And it's a great opportunity. We can show you how to do that too. So get with the person who shared this with you, who loved you enough to do that, and allow them to assist you in the application process. The product will come right to your front door. It takes about 5 minutes to go through that process with the person who shared this with you. Well, thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this with me today. And I'm going to unmute everybody in case there's any questions. But if there are no questions, then I will just say goodbye. And thank you very much.
Hallo. Hei, du kan jeg ringe deg opp? Jeg bare sitter i sånn der, litt opptatt med sånn webgreier her. Kan jeg ringe deg opp 5 minutter? Hei.
Hallo? Er det Trude?
Garrett, was there a question?
Somebody was coming in. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Hello, is it somebody have something to ask? Er det noen som skal spørre Paul om noen ting? Nei. No.
Okay. Fantastic, guys. Have a wonderful night.
And you have recorded it?
I have.
Can you send it to Marianne? And then we'll start to try to how we can make Norwegian subtitles. This
Wonderful.
is very good, Paul. You are so good.
Thank you. I will send this to you, Gerd. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Bye.